Welcome, everyone. We're getting ready to get started for Encouragement on Fire. This is our podcast number 8. If you're with me tonight, I want you to post in the comments and let me know that you're there. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Well, everyone, thank you for joining me tonight for podcast number 8. I'm Shirley Farrar, and you have tuned in to Encouragement on Fire. Yes, so I'm hoping that all of our podcasts are encouraging you to continue in your fight and also to encourage someone else who possibly is in theirs. Last week, we talked about caregivers and all that they provide to us. And so we thank them each and every time. But today, I'm going to first get into a few things. I want to know how many of you have been doing your steps. Have you been focused on your steps? I got away from a little bit. I still was doing some, but not as focused for the 10,000 steps. How you doing, Melanie? Good evening. So for me, I have to make sure I'm doing at least that 4,000 or 5,000 a day. So I'm keeping my phone near me. Many of you are using your watches and other items, but how many of you are doing the 10,000 steps a day that it says to effectively impact your health? I just want to know. I'm going to check in every so often just to see how many of you are doing that. Put it in the comments and let me know if you're keeping up with at least that health tip moving forward. Also, I want to talk to you about some current events that are going on. Let me see. There was an article on April 21st, and it's by Robert Pritt in Health Day. And this one was, extra pounds double women's risk of, let me just make sure I say it right, endometrial cancer. So I don't know about you, but coming out of this situation, I want to make sure that I am doing everything possible. So when a study like that comes up, a report on a major news or in our health reports, we want to make sure we're doing everything possible. And I know that since coming out of the situation from the cancer, I did put on pounds from the medication. I put on pounds from being able to eat more to make sure that I am able to continue in my medicine. So now it's time for me making sure I don't have any other cancers and making sure I do my part. So I'm going to be focusing on what I'm eating every day and doing my part to maybe bring down some of those pounds. There was another study that was done. Actually, this was on Action News Channel 6. And this was this past week. Fox Chase Cancer Center, Dr. Varun Vindra, he talked about thyroid cancer and how now they're learning that if you remove half of the actual thyroid, it's supposed to be more beneficial than actually removing all of the thyroid. So who figured, right? Because we're always thinking, get all the cancer out, get all the thyroid out. And now they're saying, no, half of the thyroid is better for you and is healthier for you. So make sure you look into that. Just go on the internet and look up that information. So some of my listeners, some of my viewers were asking me information about some products that I was using. And so I want to make sure that I am giving you everything that you have need of. And one of the things that, unfortunately, during my process of the chemo, the very first time that I had the chemo, I mentioned to you that I had a breakout in my mouth. It was really bad that I lost 10 pounds. And so, yeah, that first week I lost 10 pounds because I couldn't eat anything. And so I'm saying to you that I'm going to tell you what I told the other individual um, that happened, who it also had happened to. But remember, I'm not a doctor, so I'm telling you anything I speak to you. I want you to make sure that you talk to your doctor to make sure your body, your diagnosis, everything that's going on with you, it works out for you. So the medicine that they had actually gave me, it was an antacid liquid Diphen, Diphen, and it's an oral mouthwash. So you take the mouthwash, you don't you know digest, or is one extra tip that I'm very happy to pass on. Another one that I had, now y'all like, wow, she really went through. I ended up getting thrash. You know how babies get thrash, and we're like, oh my goodness, my poor little baby. And how you pronounce that one, Pastor Darrell? It's nystatin. That's what it is, nystatin. So that's one of the ones that they gave me that I had to take in order to get rid of it. It went away as fast as I took it. It went away, and I never had it again.
But remember, it numbs your mouth, right?
That was actually the antacid liquid Diphen, the oral. That one numbed my mouth. So there are different side effects, and I'm just telling you a way to get through the process, because all you want to do is have ease getting through the process so you can get to the other side. Okay. So like I said, talk to your doctor in regards to that. I'm going to go through a couple of different products that people were asking me about all week. I mean, everybody's been asking me about different, well, what do you use for this? What do you use for that? So I just want to share some things as we continue going through. I'm going to share some more. All right. So now, if you are cooking, do not cook with olive oil. Okay. It has a reaction that's not good for some people's body.
That goes against everything what we heard.
Olive oil is supposed to go on the food, not cook with the food. And also butter. Butter is extremely fat. You can use it, but it's not for everyone, depending on your health issues. So you want to be careful with that one. Also, vegetable oil. Heard it was a man-made oil. Don't know. I didn't look into it, but someone told me that. But however, I do know it's not good to cook with. Okay. So I'm going to show you one that I use that is excellent with cooking, and that is grapeseed oil. So I'm going to show you, because somebody else told me, they rebuked me and said, Mick, can you please show us? That was my sister, Melissa. So anyway, this is what you will need: grapeseed oil. Okay. It is healthy for you. It is healthy for cooking. And, like I said, it's one of those things you can use on high heat and you're still okay. All right. Now, remember, I'm giving you information that I researched, and I did, I did my particular research, but you still need to do your own research. I'm not telling you go out to the store and buy all these products. No, I'm telling you what worked for me, and I'm saying to you, you still should do your research. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you another one. Some people said, "Oh my goodness, your skin." So remember, I still was getting blotches on my skin from the chemo and everything. I had under eye dark circles, things of that nature that was coming out. So I'm going to give you a cleanser and a moisturizer that, when I tell you my skin was so sensitive, this is the only thing I could use out of everything I was using. All right. So this one right here, okay, can you see that? Cetaphil. I don't know if any of you use it. This one right here is a cleanser, but they also have a moisturizer, and they have other products as well. Smells great, but you definitely want to look into that, test it out on your skin. You can buy a small little one and see if you're in the process of your chemo or some type of sickness. Sometimes when you're going through a sickness, your skin gets very sensitive. So this is another one that works. Remember, and now I'm not getting paid on any of these products. So I'm just letting you guys know this is what works for me. Okay. Another one, a lot of times will lose all your hair, but you still need to condition your scalp. Okay. So I don't want anybody to think, oh no, when you're going through any sickness, you need to still condition your scalp. I went old school, you guys. I threw out everything because it was literally burning my scalp. And I wanted to make sure I have to still condition, my skin as well as my hair. I went old school. I went cholesterol. It's the cheapest. You would be surprised. Something so cheap actually does work. Okay. So I just want to make sure you got these things. And now, in addition to the mouthwash and different things that I was using, I still had to brush my teeth. I use a totally different toothpaste that I'm not going to talk about right now. During the chemo, I could not use it, okay? But I could use Tums. It was perfect because my body was extremely sensitive, okay?
And all these things you can get at the general drugstore,
Exactly.
supermarket, where?
A lot of times I'll order them right over the internet. It was nice and easy. I won't say who I ordered it from. You guys all know. But I ordered it over the internet and it came nice and quick. Okay. So I just wanted to share those things with you as we continue to move on. Now, um, one of the things that I would say um, any woman going through anything, we like to look nice. Okay. And we not necessarily do we wear makeup all the time, but even sometimes we just want to put on a little makeup because we have some blemishes, we got some under eye circles of whatever. We like to look our best. And I'm not telling people go out there and put on a bunch of makeup. I'm saying, little pencil sometimes because your eyebrows fall out because of the chemo, your eyelashes fall out. There's different things that happen to us. And so I just want to share with you a few items that are helpful in your process. Okay. So for me, I clean my face with the Cetaphil, but this is one of my original products. As you can see, Clinique. It's a wonderful product. However, I had to dilute it during the time of the chemo. I diluted it with more water than product. I was able to actually use it on my skin, but more the Cetaphil than the Clinique. But I'm back to using the Clinique. My skin is not as sensitive. When I tell you guys how sensitive my skin was, Pastor Darrell, I mean, you remember me sitting there.
Mhm.
I was running in and out of the kitchen. I was trying to, when I was eating during that 1 week, I was literally trying to, what was some of the things I was trying to, I mean, it was so sensitive. I mean, I could have ate a cookie.
Burning.
I tasted everything in the cookie.
You ended up
It,
having to eat popsicles
yeah,
for a
I
while.
ate popsicles. Right,
Non-sugar.
non-sugar, and I ate popsicles.
Anything cold to help ease
The
the
pain.
pain and
Yes,
the heat.
I mean, it got so bad if I drank tea. I could taste the tea and it was sensitive, so I had to be careful what kind. It had to be herbal tea, but even like green tea, I could do green tea, but I couldn't do other teas like peppermint. Whoo, was burning. So it was just
Well, that's
overwhelming.
because the acid level was so high,
Yes.
or should I say your mouth was so what's the word? Sensitive
Yes, it
to
was
the
extremely
stuff.
sensitive. And when I tell you, if anyone is out there, some of the things that I'm saying to you doesn't work. There were other things that I did use, and I can tell you what those things are. If you send me, through Instagram or just message me, I can give you a list of items that were really helpful for me. If any of the listeners that are on here or you guys on here, if there were some items that were when you went through your chemo or while you were sick and you had sensitivity, if there's anything that you use, can you please put it in the comment so it can help some of the people that are viewing now or they're viewing later on?
So also let them know, like, Clinique is only at your higher end
Yes,
department stores.
we're getting ready to go into like the makeup part. And because Clinique was one of those ones, actually, my husband had told me about. This was years ago. Started me on Clinique. And I was like, what?
And you had that for like 5 years prior to this even
Yes,
happening.
yes,
So
yes.
it's been an ongoing Christmas here. I get that every year.
Absolutely. If you're just coming in, welcome, welcome. I see you on there. So Clinique was one of those things that people should really look into. They do not use a lot of the dangerous products like
Hypoallergenic.
rice, hypoallergenic. They don't use phosphate and all those other things that are bad for your skin. Okay. But I want to also, before I get into the makeup line, because there is makeup lines. And like I told you guys, I'm not getting paid for any of those at this time. If I ever on, I'll let you know. But
you got to
at this
invest in
time,
yourself.
you have to invest in yourself. This is one that I tell you, this is summertime is coming up. And remember in a previous podcast, I mentioned to you that there were several, and we won't talk about them, Okay, because I believe in life, speak in life. So there are several um, of your, sunscreens that were not necessarily, yeah, really healthy for your skin. Now, some people maybe it is, but people who are going through chemo, absolutely not. So there are certain ingredients. I'm telling you, look at the ingredients in your sunscreen. This sunscreen was perfect for me, and I suggested, like I said, my personal opinion, not a doctor's opinion. My personal opinion. This is the Neutrogena, and as you can see, sheer zinc. Okay, perfect. It covers your skin well, and it keeps you from hopefully getting skin cancer. However, the ingredients, you got to look in the ingredients. Some sunscreens have an ingredient that causes cancer.
Melanoma.
So be careful. Okay, you would think, what? Exactly. So this one I learned does not. So I'm saying to you, I'm not going to name which ones do not. What I'm saying to you is when you look at your sunscreen, look for the ingredient side and read it and then research it and say, oh my goodness, because you want to make sure it's best for you. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about makeup. All right. So I am suggesting to everyone from my personal opinion, not because I have some great, research out there that I've done testing, but I'm saying to you, you want to use products that are very, very natural, products that won't go against the chemo. That if you're taking chemo, it won't go against that or the radiation. And if you are sick, you want to make sure everything that's going in your body is healthy, as well as what you're putting on your body is healthy. Okay, so we're just going to talk about a few different items, and like I said, very briefly, one of those items that I would say to you is Sephora. Love Sephora. The Sephora has several products under Sephora, but their products, you can get like products like Tarte, I believe it's what is it? Tarte. Yes, Tarte. Um, all of their makeup products, Sephora's cover-up products, all of them, guess what? Well, I'll say 90% of them is vegan. A lot of people don't know their products are really healthy for your skin. Are you going to pay a little bit more? Absolutely.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself. Exactly. Now, I am very thankful that my husband, a figure, right? Instead of me using the cheaper products, he was the one that went out and said, babe, try these products. And this was years ago. And he had me hooked on Sephora. So I started getting Sephora products. Now, do I still go out and get a couple of the others? Yes, I do. But after going through what I just went through, I'm about to go to the store, about to get me my Sephora products.
Oh.
He's like, oh, money, 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 money. No, I'm going to be very, reasonable about what I get. And because I don't like a lot of makeup. I put on makeup now for this, but I don't like a lot of makeup. I just do my eyeliner, my eyebrows, things of that nature, eyelashes, and
What
then
else is
and then
there?
cover up.
The
No,
foundation.
the ladies on here, they know in makeup, it's sometimes three faces before you get to that outer one. So, I like to just put on a little bit. Now, there are other products like milk products. I don't know if anyone uses milk. Milk is excellent. A friend of mine, actually, Miss Witherspoon, Erica, she got me hooked on that. And that product goes under the eye and it helps with your puffiness. So if you're going through the chemo and you need that, definitely use that under the eyes. How you doing there, Pastor? I see you there. So, and then there's other ones, Westman products, like I said, Tarte. But Sephora is one of those ones you really want to get in there. They have so many different ones. And like I said, they're vegan creations. And I love that about them. There is one article that I want you guys, and I'm going to put it in the Facebook page group after we get off today. So if anyone wants to join in there and you have any questions, I'm going to put some information in there. There's an article. It's called Clean. Uh, I can't even read my own handwriting. It's that bad. Clean makeup and that performs well. Okay, so You want to make sure that any makeup that you have is clean and it performs well. And there's an article. I'm going to place that in the actual Facebook group page so you can actually look at that. Because remember, the more we do research, the better we get about our bodies, and the cleaner we are, the healthier we are, and we can continue what we need to do. Now, I have Pastor was telling me I got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to talk about one particular topic. There's a book that I want to introduce to everyone here. But the first thing I want to ask is, I want to ask you, this is the first question I asked you in the first podcast, and I want to go back to that. And to my faith-based listeners, I want you to maybe address it in the comments. You can speak in there. I welcome it. Do you believe, if you're going through sickness, and if you're going through some type of disease or other, something that's really chronic and is ailing you, do you believe that that's the plan of God for your life? I want y'all to post it in the comments. Come on, join in. Do you, and I want you to be honest. Don't give me some spiritual, oh, well, no. Yes or no. Do you believe getting sick? Do you believe, this disease was placed on you by God? I want you to answer that. You believe that you're suffering, he said we're going to suffer, but do you believe that the suffering you are going through or you went through was placed on you by God?
That's a loaded question.
So I have a couple people saying, no, I don't. Who else? Who else is bold enough to be honest and say, yes, I do, or no, I don't? And I'm not even saying we're going to answer this question. I just want to know what the listeners and what the viewers really think about this. Okay, so as we are waiting for people to be honest and to place it in the comments, I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to introduce you to a book. Some of you may have read the book. And all right, so I have one person that says no, or another person that says no. This book was written by I believe it's Damon, right? Damon, Damon Davis. And this book is called God Cures. Has any of the listeners read this book? So if you have, I have another person who said no. Okay, so if you've read this book, I want you to put in the comments yes or no, I haven't. Or, just let me know. But this particular book, I'm just going to talk about the introduction today. And as we have a listener that has read the book. Excellent. And I'm going to have that person come in sometime and talk with me on this book. Okay, we have another one that says, no, I haven't. I encourage all of you, if you desire, okay, you can do, I think it's what's the one, the audible books. They have another one. No, this particular book you can get, and when I tell you, it's going to change your life. 21 days. Mr. Davis is asking you to read this book. 21 days. Give him an opportunity to change your heart, to change your mind. It is biblically based. However, even he talks with an alignment, because when we do anything in life, there should be a balance of spirit, soul, and body. Okay. So if you're too spiritual, nobody's listening to you. And if you're too body, nobody's listening to you. What has to happen is I would say the person inside, you say spirit, soul, and body. The soulish man has to first be renewed. It has to be renewed, okay, to truth. Now, everybody has a different thing of truth. As a faith-based person, I believe the truth of God and what he has in the word of God that I share with other people. But with that, like the Bible says, faith without works is dead. And that is one of the reasons of this podcast. We're bringing faith and works together, right? We're bringing them together because it's necessary. You cannot have faith without works, and you can't have works without faith. So as we align, we get our soulish man in order with truth, right? There's going to be a lot of facts, but where's the truth in the matter? And so if we can align it with truth, then we can really do something. And in this particular book, he talks about that. And so one of the things I'm going to share with you, he said, I'm reading some of the things you guys have put on here. Um, he says, so I invite you to learn about my story and how I overcame sickness by uncovering the truth of how our spirit, soul, and body should function and work together. And that's all. So he's literally going there with you. Many books don't do that. He's saying we can move into a place that science, biology, and physics define a homeostasis, where the created ones, are engineered to heal ourselves. Now, somewhere along the line, all of us have heard that. Think about it. We've all heard that before. Many times we reject some things because it's either too spiritual, right? Or somebody's talking too much physical body, body, body. And we're like, oh no, I'm not getting into that. Oh no, I'm not getting into that. Where's the balance? There's some truth in it. So where's the balance? And that's what this book is all about. He really goes into, as the Christians, as we pray, we say nothing missing, nothing broken, everything whole. That comes from like Creflo Dollar, some of the other, bishops in the faith. Well, what do when we say those things, where do we end up in that? Where do after we say that, okay, now what? Nothing missing, nothing broken. Okay, so that's the faith part. Now, where's the part that now I have to do the work? I have to walk it out. See, it's okay for people to lay hands on you. It's okay for you to speak, right? That's the spiritual side. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak faith. I'm gonna speak faith. I'm gonna do all these things. But then there's an alignment. First of all, there's an alignment with the body. What are you doing for the body? Are you eating right? Are you exercising? Are you doing the things? Now, you don't want to do too much, but you want to do what's right for you. And then, guess what? The soul, I got to believe it. The Bible tells us that whatsoever man thinks, Pastor Darrell went over that this morning, whatsoever man thinks, that's what he is. So I can speak all the faith I want. I can practice and do all the body stuff I want. But if my soul, if who I am doesn't align with the two of those things and those things in alignment, that's why the healing, that's in his book, that's why the healing doesn't come. Because we have a lot of people speaking a lot of good things, but they don't believe it.
Lord, help my unbelief, huh?
Lord, help my unbelief. Exactly. So that's why we're talking on this podcast. If we can align the three things, and we're going to do that by talking about his book, just little chapters as we're moving forward. So I'm hoping everybody gets on the bandwagon as we're talking about other topics. We're going to take that last few minutes of each session, and we're going to talk about some things he wrote in the book. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the name again. His book is called God Cures. Okay. I'm going to put it in this right here. I'm going to write it real quick. God Cures. And it's by Damon Davis. Okay. Because I want to make sure that if you are interested in getting his book, and like I said, I'm not getting a cut from his book, nothing like that. I'm just here helping out because I believe this is what I ought to do. Okay. So, so I think we are winding down. Anything else you want to say, Pastor Darrell? I got 1 minute, you guys. I'm doing good. Woohoo.
The Bible says, do good unto all men, especially those of the household of faith.
Faith. And you are my people in the household of faith. And I also have other listeners out there. I hope one day you become part of the household of faith. But either way, like God, like Jesus, I love you all. And I hope that you return back next week, Sunday at 8 o'clock, so we can talk about another topic. Now, be mindful, I'm getting ready to go to the Facebook page, our Facebook group. So meet me there, everyone, if you want to talk a little bit more about this topic. But either way, I'm going to put this information in the comments section. Okay. I love everyone on there. I see you, Pastor Gwen. I see you, Melanie, Cynthia, Larry. I see all of you on there. If others are on there as well, I hope that you continue to stay with us. You continue to watch our segments over and over, and also share with other people in the community. Okay. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.